Welcome to Patriot True Talk. Early this morning at 10 a.m., and today is the 12th of May, I attended the Hayes Township board meeting. Um, really was kind of short. I'm kind of doing this one different from the last board meeting that I recorded. Um, it was a lot of people that did show up, which I think is good, and other people think it's good too. They didn't really do all that much today. They did have something on the agenda. I have the agenda right here, so I'm going to kind of read from this a little bit. At first, put some context into what happened this morning. Okay, so there was a moratorium for large solar systems. So obviously, somebody is looking maybe into putting some solar, maybe a solar farm, is what I'm assuming at this point in Hayes Township. Especially if they're doing something with that, it might be something. It sounds to me like it's something um, that they're revisiting as far as zoning with that. So maybe somebody has already been talking lately with them. I did find out from the gentleman that was sitting next to me that it is Atwell Solar that is an out-of-state company. They do have other solar farms. I do think from what the website said here in Michigan, but I don't think they actually own the solar farms. It seems to me like it's more of an engineering and construction company that puts the solar farms in. So they're probably working with another company. I was not able to find out if there's another company along with Atwell. You can always go on their website too and see what that company is about. I went on there today and I found out some very interesting stuff, especially about here in Michigan. So I'm going to be doing something on that probably my next video. I'm not going to really touch too much on that right now, but I am going to do a video about it and share with you what I found out about the company Atwell. There were some votes that they had to take as far as spending money. All those went through. Congratulations on the fire department. I hope you guys get your grant for your new equipment for suits. Here's what the one of the board members had to say about the Hayes Harrison Fire Department. Take a listen. What would that grant include?
Equipment. In the letter, it is for, they have several pieces of the department's firefighter protective gear that's going to expire within the next few years and need replacement. The gear is custom fitted to each firefighter and it costs thousands and thousands of dollars per equipment. So currently they hand me down to their recruits, and then as you have your tenure, you get a new one. So there's a grant available for them to be able to try to offset the cost.
Okay. I feel that that's a good thing. We rely on firefighters a lot, and they do need safety equipment to be safe on the job. Because we definitely don't want them getting hurt. So that's, I think, is a good thing. You might disagree. If you do, let me know in the comments below, please. Then pretty much after that, I'm not going to show the whole video of what took place because a lot of it's boring, and I had some people in my last video when I did the last meeting that just really skipped until the good part with the GFL transfer station. There was a lot of comment today about that. Here's some of the comments here that some people made.
I just want to reiterate the opposition for the GFL proposed facility. The more and more I learn as we go along, and speaking with several people in Surrey Township, and how they are dissatisfied with that and that it's coming up for renewal. Mm-hmm. And they may be losing their, I don't know for sure. It depends on how the vote goes.
So, but Surrey Township's station is a little bit different, though.
I understand.
Theirs is open. Yeah, and theirs is also open to the public, where right. This would be only a GFL
Right.
trucks.
But just in general, they are very unsatisfied with GFL. And because even after they got the contract lease, whatever they call it at that point, they did things that were unauthorized by the township. And they've been fighting that as well too. They rearranged the actual ground layout there so they could park trucks out there, things like that.
And that transfer station there is owned by the township.
Right, I understand that. And, but like I said, it's been a learning experience because I found out also that one of the reasons they included the word recycling is because they can get their permits in about a quarter of the time, where it can take up to 8 years if it doesn't say the word recycling. So, but like I said, it's been a learning experience for sure, but I just wanted to reiterate opposition for this proposed plan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Also oppose the garbage thing out north of town. The dumpsters are already an issue, whatever might be sitting in those with the rainwater and whatnot. So to add that, I'm not sure why we as a community, if money is more important than having a respectable status as a community, I'm sad about that.
Alright, so they did bring up the dumpsters that are already there. There is some concern about that because they're not the tops are not covered. So when it rains, obviously the inside of the dumpster is going to get wet. The water's going to have to drain out, which I'm sure there's some sort of a drainage in there as well, and that's going on the ground. Obviously, they're not going to sit there and pump out each individual one. That would take too much time. So we do have a lot of dumpsters. Here's a photograph of the dumpsters for those of you that have not seen it yet, or maybe you don't live in the Harrison area here. So here's a quick photo of the row of dumpsters that I took.
Moved up here because it was quiet and because it was clean. And since I've moved here, I can count like four neighbors right in my general area that have retired up here because of how peaceful and quiet it is, how clean it is. And this facility that's proposed by GFL, it's in the middle of our neighborhood. I know it's zoned industrial and has been for a very long time, but we really have to look at what's best for the people, because a rough estimate has shown there's like 1,000 houses within 1.5 miles of where that's going in, and it's not best for the community. If you really do the research on transfer facilities, you can find problems all over the country where no matter, I mean, we all have to have someone to take care of our trash, and we're grateful for that because otherwise it would be a mess. But when you're dealing with trash, there's always going to be some kind of breach somewhere. We're on well water, as we all know, and to have anything, even one breach with their containment system, that's an issue. The odor, which, I mean, yes, it's going to be enclosed, but those doors have to open multiple times a day to let in trucks. There's no way to stop that odor from getting out. We have houses directly across the street from this facility, and so many so close. I want to say thank you to Commissioner Ambrosatis for withdrawing your support as our district county commissioner. He no longer supports this facility here. We have a really special draw here with people bringing their money from downstate and retiring up here. They want to come here because of how clean the air is, how clean the environment is, and how clean the water is. And to put this facility, we already stunk up the south side of town. I've been down there. I went to visit someone down there. The smell was literally so bad all the way down there near the dump. I got nauseated and had to leave, and I'll never go back down there. We don't want to take any kind of chances with the north area of town, because right now we've got a gem. People are flocking from the most affluent counties downstate and coming up here because of how beautiful it is. And we don't want to take that chance. Like, we want GFL to take our trash away, but just don't bring tons of trash to the center of our neighborhood. So respectfully, Supervisor Powell, we ask you to represent us, the people. We don't want this in our neighborhood. This is the center of our neighborhood. Please, please follow the lead of Commissioner Ambrosatis and withdraw your support from this project. Respectfully.
Thank you for your comment.
Did I understand in the meeting that was a couple weeks ago that the representative from GFL had mentioned that they may potentially put some sort of fence along 27 so one can't see?
There's a potential for it.
Okay.
There's just nothing required in our zoning or ordinances to require them to do that. Any other public comment? John?
I think it's ridiculous that anybody would back this, and it's not a personal insult. They're bringing this company in here for 5 jobs is ridiculous. We have hundreds of people sitting in $80,000 vehicles waiting for free food. People in this township and in the county don't want to work, but we want to bring in 5 jobs for what? What benefit is the township going to receive from it? And that's a rhetorical question. What I see is more trucks, more trash, more noise, more air, water, ground pollution, odor, diesel exhaust, and our property value is going down. And like Ray said, who's going to move up here when they drive by dumpsters? And I even made a joke earlier. I'm going to make a canoe out of a dumpster and put it in the lake and have a canoe race. I mean, it's ridiculous. And if you look up dumpsters being blight, dumpsters can be considered blight. These aren't necessarily, but why do we have to stare at them? There's 150 or 200 of them over there. How many, do they have a limit? Are they gonna put more over there? We're gonna have 1,000 over there? You know, where does it end? And I find it ironic that Claire cleans up their blight every year and they brag about how clean the town is. We bring our blight up here.
Claire's also
And we're
a
proud of
city.
it.
Claire's also a city, so they work under a charter, which is
That's
quite different.
fine. I'm just saying they're trying to get rid of their blight, and we want to bring it up here. You guys don't care about what we have to look at, smell, and drink in our water. I don't know where any of you live, but why would you? What is the benefit the township's getting from GFL? Is it money?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was stated in the last meeting.
Okay. I'm just totally against it. I don't think any of you commissioners should sign off on it. It's ridiculous. The solar panels too.
Any other public comment?
You know, to go along with the, what dumping or whatever, legal or not, is there a protocol if I, as a resident, wanted to have my friend bring whatever there is in their dump truck that they got from some job they were doing and dump it in my front yard? Is that okay? Do I have, are any guidelines that I have to, what's in that, whatever, or can I just dump it in my yard? Might be wood debris or piles of unsightly stuff. Can I just put that in my yard
I mean, you can, but you'll get a blight violation for it.
because I'm not in the industrial park?
No.
So out by the airport, it appears that there are dump truck loads of debris from some other off-site. Is that stuff, how do we know what's in that? Why is that permitted? Do we have to look at that? It's not technically a dump at this point, is it? So why does it appear that that's a dumping spot?
Oh, well, industrial does permit storage of like sand and gravel and concrete and
Wood debris, everything that you might be bringing from another site that you don't know what's on in that site? Thank you.
Stuff like that. There was some interesting questions where Brendan Powell stated to a resident that it was open for comments, but they're not really answering on any questions.
Just please answer my question. Is that yes?
I don't actually have to answer your question. This is a public comment.
Okay, thank you very much for that. What, Pat, can somebody share what the road?
It has to come to the
study was
board.
for?
Your,
Pardon me?
your public comment has to be addressed to the board.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was the road study for?
It was a speed study for Cranberry Lake.
Okay.
Of course, they did answer a little bit of questions here and there, depending what the question is. So you can take that and make that as you will. Now, there is one interesting thing that was asked was about the letter Brendan Powell wrote to as the supervisor of Hayes Township, and from what he said, I'm going to play this clip in 1 minute. Um, that he said that he did write it on Hayes Township letterhead, and he wrote it as the supervisor. But the rest of the board was not on there with him. It was just him. Okay, so now I want to refer to an article that the Clare County Cleaver had wrote. I'll get you the date here in 1 second because I'm going to show you the article that was in there. They had said because they wrote the article on the last meeting that I recorded, and if you want to go back in my videos and watch that, feel free. That he wrote that letter as a resident, not a board member. Okay, so I think we need to make that correction. And because he did say today that he wrote that as a supervisor, but the other board members were not on there. That was just him. Okay, so I don't think there's really been a vote for all the board members to see who's on board and who's not with the transfer station that GFL would like to put in town. Some other people too at the last meeting as well had mentioned about the motel that had burned down almost a year ago. I think July 4th weekend it's burned down, and a lot of people are saying that it's an eyesore. So hopefully they'll be getting that down soon. I haven't been able to get much information on that, but I am trying to get information. We will see about that. So here's what Brendan Powell had to say about the letter that he wrote.
At the last meeting, when I stated that it came directly from me, it did not come from anybody else in this,
Correct.
from the board, but it came from me as a supervisor.
Right, okay, so it was on Hayes Township letterhead then, but as a private citizen
No,
and
it
supervisor.
never said private citizen.
Okay, supervisor.
Mhm.
Okay, just curious about that. And have you reconsidered and thought maybe you'd want to change your mind on that?
At this moment, I have not reconsidered.
Okay, so as you can see, he said his own words that he wrote it as a supervisor, and it was on the letterhead, Hayes Township. So, but at the previous meeting, he did touch on that a little bit on that letter, but he didn't say if he wrote it as a supervisor or resident. So hopefully the Cleaver will hopefully make that correction. Maybe not. It is up to them. I'm not faulting them. I mean, mistakes do take place. Maybe that was a conversation that was said, on a one-to-one basis. So I don't know if that was said by Brendan or not. So let's not fault him. He did explain it, I think, a little bit better in this meeting than he did the last one. Here's what he said in the last meeting.
I'm gonna address something too about the letter of support that came from me. So the letter of support was never brought to this board per se to vote on or sign on. Rick asked me about it. I do support the economical boost that I believe the facility would provide. That's why I provided that letter of support. It did not come from anybody else so inside this township hall. It did come from me. Just so everybody's clear that it was not a township board initiated letter of support or nothing like that nature.
All right, so pertaining to the GFL transfer station, I did do a 3-minute video, which was the last one that I did. The one before that was the last meeting I attended, where they were asking people came to ask questions. They were getting some answers. I really didn't care for a lot of the pushing it onto the rug answer type things. That the manager FanCon, he was there and he tried to answer some questions as well. So like I said, if you want to go back and watch that video, do so, please. There's more information that you have on what's going on here in Harrison. I think it's going to be the best thing. Okay. So if you want me to do another a separate video on these solar farms, so I can maybe try to explain what I've found out so far, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can get notifications when I post new videos. With the gas prices the way that they are, I don't know how many more videos I'm going to be able to do. I fund this myself right now. I am going to leave a link below to where if you would like to donate to help me get these stories and go out and film, to bring you guys the information in Harrison and around Harrison too. If you hear of any stories out there, maybe in Gladwin, Clare, Houghton Lake, that you feel that needs to be addressed here as well, please, here's the email address on the screen now to where you can send me a email and let me know what type of content you want to see covered here in Michigan. I know the GFL transfer station, I know, was a big thing here. Um, Solar farms here in Michigan, that's a big thing. I'm going to try and cover as much of that as I can. And data centers as well. And video that I do the solar farms on, I am going to touch on data centers because I found out some really interesting information. So that's why I want you to subscribe and hit that notification bell. So when I make that video and I release that, you guys can be the first ones to see it. Okay. So like I said, if you want to donate, there'll be a link in the bottom of this where you can just click on the link and donate one time or become a member too. I'm gonna start putting some stuff on that um, uh, to where I'm gonna have content on there that you may not be able to see here on YouTube. So if you wind up becoming a member, great. You'll have uh, access to videos that I'm not going to post here. Okay, so thank you for listening and joining in with me today. Sorry I didn't really find out too much more of what's going on with the transfer station. Answers were very limited on that today as well. And I just want to say too, I have reached out to Brendan Powell. I sent him an email today, and I talked to him after the meeting as well. I would like to give him a chance to sit on with me and do an interview, um, so we could hear what the benefits are here to have the GFL transfer station. I'm going to try and get some more questions that people have asked, but that they don't feel that they got a really good answer with it. So we're going to try and ask some of those questions too. So I always like to hear both sides, and you should too. Don't just take one person's word for it. Listen to both sides. That way you can make a better decision on what you feel is best for Michigan and best for your community. I want to thank you again for tuning in, and hopefully I'll be seeing you in the next video. Y'all have a blessed day.